For our next little ditty here, here's a song I wrote back in 2017.
In front of it, I couldn't hear.
Song that I got a call from 45 today, if you know who that is. So here's the background story. Here's the background story to that. Okay, so I grew up in Coney Island, Brooklyn, and my mom worked at the Trump Village coffee shop as a waitress. My high school had the Fred and Mary Trump scoreboard on it. So we got to really dislike those people long before Donald ever came into the picture. I mean, he was already in the picture because he was writing the C's on the applications when people of color tried to rent housing on the houses that Fred Trump built had money from the city of New York. But meanwhile, they were also responsible for leasing the place out. But when somebody of color would come through, they would put a C on there and they would deny them access to a rental. And this is what Woody Guthrie wrote about. And Woody Guthrie wrote about Beach Haven and some other things. And talking about Woody Guthrie, so Woody Guthrie, Woody Guthrie's wife Marjorie and their daughter Nora, they live down the street from us on Mermaid Avenue, okay, in Coney Island. So if you ever heard Billy Bragg and Wilco's album Mermaid Avenue, it's because the whole Guthrie family lived down on Mermaid Avenue down the street from us, and it was an album of songs that Woody wrote lyrics to, but he never made into a song, so they converted it into the song. So anyway, that's what this song's about. And Fred Trump and Robert Moses were responsible for really messing up good parts of the city and stuff, and especially my neighborhood, and they kind of destroyed my piece of Coney Island that was kind of a nice lower middle class neighborhood, and turned into a slum. It looked like France and Germany after the Second World War with burnt out buildings and stuff. So anyway, this is what that song's about. There's a little singing along part on it too that you can all sing along with. Well, I received a call earlier today from the President of the USA saying he's digging the music that I play. He said it's got some rock and it's got some roll and it's got some country and a whole lot of soul, and he'd like for me to do a show for him and his pals today. I got a call from 45 today. He said, I'm sorry, boy, the White House is a dump, not fitting for anyone named Trump, and I'd like for you to play at my pad down in Palm Beach. He said his old buddy Putin is coming, and he wants to hear the tunes I'm strumming. Can I be there about 8 o'clock tonight? Had another gig. Said he's tending over his private jet to take me to where he's at, and there'll be all sorts of treats on the flight for me, if you know what I mean. Well, the last part sounded mighty good, and it didn't take long before I figured if I would, so I thanked him. And this is what I said. I said, now 45, you make me sick. You're an egocentric racist, we think he's slick, and you and your pals are bringing our country down. Your brain's a cesspool, there's no doubt. You never give a thought what comes out of your mouth, and you and your pals are bringing our country down. Well, your life's been filled with Greek corruption and graft, and you scammed your way out of the Vietnam draft, and the great negotiator ain't nothing but a con artist from Queens. As I hung up, I told him to kiss my ass, and I rolled me a fatty, some homegrown grass, and I picked up my guitar and strummed me a patriotic tune from a neighbor who lived down on Mermaid Avenue. Everybody ready? This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. One more time. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land is made for you and me. You know, oftentimes I had the dream of men, equal and free, and old politicians sending young folks off to war was history. But for now, All I can do is sing old Woody's tune, so let's all sing it as it comes around. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land is made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land is made for you and me. I said now this land is made for you and me. Well, we're going to do one more tune, and then we'll take a 15-minute break or so.